how's everybody doing on there? Mama and Kid here back again, kind of with a special Geek Thought video today for you guys. Mainly this is dedicated to those pack members that are professional wrestling fans as well. And this past week, wrestling has been interesting. You know, I'm following it, guys, but not like fully following it. You know, these shows are just kind of lackluster without a traditional crowd, and I'm not even sorry I said that. But having said that, guys, AEW did something very interesting, and they gave us two new debuts in the company. I do follow AEW. I am a wrestling fan, guys. I'm not a WWE. I'm not stuck in that bubble. You know, I don't just watch anything just WWE. I am a wrestling fan, and I try to watch as much of different promotions as I can. I do pull for AEW. I want them to succeed. I want them to do well, because competition is good for business, right? But with that being said, guys, it's not about AEW in general. It's about one of their new signees. And I really wanted to talk about her. And I posted a poll, and I was like, I'm going to talk about this girl. And the girl that I'm here to talk about in their women's division is none other than the lady herself, the living dead girl, as she calls herself, Abaddon. Yeah, we're going to talk about this girl because I'm all in. I'm all in for sure with this girl. She has the look. Her look alone will get her people to like, oh, she's unique and things like that. So I did not watch Miss Abaddon's dark match she had with Sheeta. I don't really watch AEW Dark, so I couldn't really tell. But on her debut, Dynamite debut match, she had a match against Anna Jay. Now they really put the focus on Anna Jay. They gave her a package, and she's talking about how, you know, she got into professional wrestling and how much she loved it as a kid and everything like that. So traditional wise, when they give you a package like this, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, she's gonna go over on her opponent. What a swerve AEW did in this. So she comes out and she looks like a, you know, one of those classic, you know, showgirls, or cigars, cigarettes, or as most of my geeks out there, she looked like Zatanna. Okay, let's just call it like it is. She looked like Zatanna, and she's getting what crowd they did have, and then her opponent comes out, and we are introduced to Miss Abaddon. Now, she comes out. She comes out and she's crawling on all fours, almost like she's coming out of hell or straight out of a grave. The camera angle kind of had a different feel to it, and you can see like something is with this girl. It's almost like, you know, she's kind of twitching a little bit, and you're seeing glimpses a little bit. She crawls all the way out from point A to the ring. Then she gets in the ring, and they don't really show too much of her face until finally she gets into that corner, and then you see the look, and you see her face. And I kid you not, I was on my computer, and I'm like, whoa! I was like, whoa, okay, that caught me. So she looks like something out of a lot of different of your favorite horror movies. Like, I got a feel of the infected from the Wreck, or the Quarantine. Wreck, the original, and Quarantine being the remake. The infected in that kind of had that like pus that coming out of their mouth, and their eyes would be all red. And she also looked like out of the infected in 28 Days. That was kind of the vibe I was getting from her. but it was not just the makeup alone, because it really looked like this to truly show how much the makeup really made it wow for me. She looks similar to, like, it looked like her face is burnt. Look like her face is burnt, flesh is coming off of her. Her teeth are rotten looking, and then of course, then it's the eyes. The eyes are really what capture it. Like, one eye was like bloodshot red, like almost like somebody choked her so hard the blood vessels in her eyes bust. And the other one was white, looking similar to like any kind of demonic um, demon character you can think of in maybe the Whedon verse or something like that. So, and you just clearly see this woman is really into this character that she's playing, and the commentator alone really sold it as well. Like, what is this? Like, she is just they are just captivated by her. So we have this match with her and Anna Jay, and it clearly looks like, okay, even though this Anna Jay's she's off a little bit, but you still thinking, okay, she's still gonna win. And they're back and forth. There's even some points where she hits her and Abaddon just stares at her like, and then of course it just becomes all Abaddon until she does like her the end of it. The finish was Abaddon does basically a Hurricane Rana, but it was short. Like, Anna Jay was on her knees, so she did it from there, and she gets the pin. And it was like, whoa! You're thinking that was a swerve. Like, you give Anna Jay this package of her telling her life stories, quote unquote, things like that, and it's going that way. Traditional wise, we're thinking, okay, she's going over. Nope, she doesn't. So when Abaddon gets the pin, and this truly shows just how great in character she is. So literally, she's kind of getting up from her, but she's getting up so slowly, like you're just seeing her kind of get up, and then she starts twitching. Her head just starts like kind of twitching, like almost like in retrospect to a zombie like girl, like their necks are like cracking and stuff. Then the ref tries to grab her, and she yells ah, and that was about it. And then she crawls back out, but you still get a glimpse of the face, and it's JR alone that just kills it for me. His commentator alone of just like, what is this? Like, it was so crazy, but immediately I was like, I told my brother, I was like, I'm into her, I'm into her, and it was even right after that match, they signed her. They officially signed her on Twitter and everything. It was they signed it said Abadon is AEW, and I love the image of that. Like, it really looked like she is a dead girl, like, and things like that. Now, having said that and praised her, I can understand a lot of people's concerns about her in terms of, well, she has that character down, but we've kind of seen this before. Rosemary comes to mind. Su Yung comes to mind. They all have features of, demonic, horror-themed characters. Rosemary is considered, she's a demon. She's a demon assassin, and she's got different personalities, so you don't always see which one is in control. And Su Yung is the zombie, dead bride. Yeah. But I can't deny that badass music she has. So I can understand people considering that, because when I posted it in a wrestling group that I'm a part of on Facebook, people were saying like, what is that? Who is that? Like, is that Rosemary? Is she like Rosemary? And basically what I implied was like, think Rosemary's crazy sister, like crazier sister or so, like that. I have also followed her on Facebook because she has a Facebook page, and you kind of get to see the different variations of her makeup. Like, she doesn't just have that makeup, but that's probably the most creepiest. throughout her because she's done indie work as well. She's from the indies as well, and you kind of get to see different variations. There's some where she's got just that black eye, dead eye look. Really, there's been times it looked like she's got like, you know, she's got like green sludge coming out of her face, or blood coming out of her mouth. She does use the blood a lot as well, the fake blood. But all of them have just been are really creative, and I'm just like, this is a very creative look and a very creative person. If she's really coming up with this makeup on her own to be a little different. She's worked with men as well. And I realized once I got into her, saw that match, I was like, I got to know more about her. And one of the things that a lot of people was like, okay, what does she look like when she doesn't have all that makeup on? And there's the pictures with her without the makeup. I'm like, oh wow, she's it's really nice. But the fact is that she uh, really has really mend that character that she's playing into her own. And I understand, like I said, I understand people's like, oh, this is just Rosemary. This is just. I've heard many wrestling podcasts saying this is just AEW's version of Rosemary, and to some degree, I can understand that. And of course, you're gonna have those AEW haters that are gonna be like, oh, this is just their answer to the Fiend. And I'm like, and with all due respect to Bray Wyatt, who is very creative himself, let's be totally honest here, okay? The Fiend is the mask. That mask that's it. Abaddon, that's her whole makeup. That's just her personality outside of not using a prosthetic mask. Remember, it's a mask. Take that mask away from him, what is he? Abaddon there's a different flavor to it. That's her, just creative with the different makeup and the eye contacts and things like that. I'm not trying to make this a WWE AEW thing, but the fact is you gotta keep it real. Like it is just a mask. But outside of that, she has really captured me. Like, okay, what are they gonna do with her next? And prior to me starting this, me and my brother were talking about like, where are they gonna go with this? Where are they gonna go with her now? Like, I don't get to talk about wrestling too much on the channel as much as I want to anymore. But when I do, it's fun, and I'm really interested in seeing where they're gonna go, where they're gonna take Miss Abaddon, because with the AEW women's division, it's still growing, and there's also not a lot going on because some of the are injured. Uh, Chris Statlander's injured. There's not too many faces. Britt Baker's she's still injured, but you can see they're building up something between her and Big Swole. Um, so you just got to figure out who they're going to use for her, or are they going to be throwing her carrying? And I'm not talking about carrying Cross, but are they just going to be throwing her like jobbers and stuff until? And it is going to be really interesting to see if they have people try to interview her and she's just like not into it, or she just stands there like just weirded out, because she really is in depth into that character. It's almost like she is a dead girl. Like, and I like her name, the living dead girl. Like she just looks psychotic and looks. There's nobody up there. Like, it's just almost like a hunger to fight, like a zombie. Hunger, 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 battle, 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 wrestle, 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 and that's it. Like, she tries to get the rest try to touch her. She like really like into it. So yeah. Having said that, guys, I am really in depth into Abaddon, um, and I'm looking forward to seeing where AEW takes her. I think she can do very good for the company, done right, promoted right, and things like that. And I was once again, like I said, I understand people's concerns about, yes, she looks just like Rosemary. I would love if there was an interview or so where people asked Rosemary, so what do you think of that? Or Sue Young, like, what do you think of that? I'm sure they wouldn't be upset about it. Like, she looks good. The makeup alone made me just like, oh, like, you really look into that makeup and it's just like, wow, like, whoa, like that was great. Her music is interesting as well. It's it's got a dark feel, like a death rock to it, which is fine. But I'm all in, guys. That's pretty much it. Like, I got nothing really, no harsh words to say about her. I'm all in. I definitely look forward to the future for her and see where they go and see where they take her. It's been a long time since we've seen kind of like, I mean, it's not really that long, but it's good to see more like horror-like themes in professional wrestling come forward now. I don't think that's a dead art. I think more should come and be used where needed. But overall, Abaddon's got my vote. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it, guys. You guys tell me, to all my fellow wrestling fans out there, and those pack members that are wrestling fans as well. Did you see Abaddon? What do you think about her? Are you in or are you out? Will you give her a try if you're not really fully committed? And tell us, yeah, and tell me, guys, what do you want to see from her? And with that being said, guys, I hope you guys take care, stay safe, be well. As always, peace and love. Stay tuned. Keep it real. This has been a special edition of Geek Thoughts. You guys take care.